Welcome to Counterpoint Podcasts. This is Jeff, and I'm joined by Hanish. And today, the second generation iPhone SE has launched, and we're here to discuss the importance and first impressions. Hello, Hanish.
Hello, Jeff. How are you doing?
Hey, doing great here. What are your thoughts on the iPhone SE launch today?
Well, I think this is primarily targeted at people who have been using the old generation Apple devices since last 2 3 years. So we can say, existing, let's say, the previous generation SC 5, 6, 7, 8 users who are now looking for upgrade, and who also sort of have some resistance towards upgrading to a big screen devices with facial recognition or things like that. So I think these users are looking at a budget option with great performance and new hardware specifications, and that's where the value proposition jumps in. And with a brand value like Apple, they should do well in all the markets where Apple enjoys a strong market share.
I agree. Apple already owns 700, 1,000, and above 1,000. Those price tiers, they're very dominant. In North America, the 6S and 7 has been gaining traction in the lower tiers and within prepaid. And I think that's one place where the SE will fit in well and continue to help Apple gain share in the lower price tiers. Uh, Also, in North America, for 10 years, we've been talking about a comeback of the mid tier. And now we thought, okay, this might be the time 5G carriers wanting to get 5G into the mid tier and lower tiers of the portfolio. Um, this could be the mid-tier killer of again keeping others from gaining share because the price is compelling. It's not 5G. However, maybe these consumers won't be as concerned that it's not 5G. They're more happy just to be part of the Apple ecosystem and have a high quality Apple device.
One one thing, Jeff. I mean, I've been curious because the new device it actually comes with the latest A13 Bionic chipset from the Apple iPhone 11 series. But then, if you look at the Apple sales overall, iPhone XR, which actually comes with A12 chipset, it still sells pretty well in a lot of channels across North America and some other markets as well. So, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, would consumers actually go for a smaller uh, display size with the latest chipset, or would they go for XR, which offers a bigger display size but an older chipset?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do think that there will be a preference towards this new device. It's the new thing, the new colors, lots of marketing. This consumer is not someone that wants a 6.7-inch device, obviously, but it could be someone that already has a tablet, notebook, devices that they'll use. So they won't be as concerned with the 4.7 inch. I think they'll be more compelled by the lower price and just being part of the Apple ecosystem.
Yep, I feel the same. At least for a lot of other markets that we have been tracking, like places in Japan and some of the other European, Eastern European markets, people have not been very much resistive to the smaller screen sizes, where the 7 series or the 6 series are still doing very well. So yeah, completely agree on your thoughts.
Um, let's talk a little about sales expectations of the iPhone SE in 2020. There is some of these Android 5G devices launching this month and next month. We just are past the Samsung Galaxy S20. What are your expectations of sales?
We feel that this device will particularly do well in the North American market, Europe, and Japanese market. Although this price point, it has been People have been thinking that, oh, this is a budget range phone. This is for the Asian markets. But as I said, if you look at the device sales trends, the older generation devices, which are at a similar price point or slightly higher than this price point, they have done well in majorly in North America, Europe, and Japan. So in India or other Asian markets, it may still be very challenging for Apple because we have observed that people actually tend to go for higher specification, bigger display size, or the latest devices. And in fact, this talking about the price point, uh, I guess SE will be in the same price range where it will be competing with the likes of OnePlus 7 and 8. So it becomes very difficult. It is expected to become very difficult for Apple to gain some traction on that front. But definitely, this should do better than the previous generation iPhone SE.
Yeah, it's interesting. It probably will be challenged in China, where there is already significant mid-tier high specs from Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, and others already in the mid-tier. But I know American and Canadian operators are excited to have it because it is a mid-tier device. Obviously, they they wish it was a 5G device. They're probably not as excited about putting millions of devices over the next 3 years of high volume iPhone that's LTE, but they'd rather take the net ad than let someone else get it. So I think U.S. and Canadian carriers are have high expectations and think the device will do very well.
Yep, yep. And coming back again to the Asian markets, I also believe that Apple needs to have a stronger retail footprint as compared to these Chinese brands, which have invested a lot in these distribution channels, and they have created such a huge retail network across Asia. So it's very difficult in a competitive environment, uh, where there are so many devices launching each and every month. Um it may be challenging for Apple to gain some market share.
True. What are your thoughts on COVID-19 and its effect on sales for the new launch?
Well, I think since the launch comes at amid this lockdown in US, I think Apple will definitely lose out on some sales during the initial weeks, but it all depends when the market opens up. Uh, and when it opens up, I think it will be able to cash in on that vacuum that has been created in the market. A lot of these existing customers, they might already be looking for an upgrade, but then with restricted mobility and everything, they might actually postpone their purchase. So I believe when the market opens up, there'll be some sort of vacuum, and Apple will be in the right position to cash in on that.
Interesting. Yes, it is not an Apple-like launch, which is usually a lot of hoopla, lots of marketing. It's the talk of tech and talk of media that day. And today is quite different. We're talking COVID and the economy and when the lockdowns will be ending and very, very different times. However, Apple has a strong online presence. And when the COVID-19, whether it's a few weeks or a few months, life turns back to normal, I'm sure Apple will really accelerate their marketing. But in the meantime, they do have a great online sales channel, and pre-sales will happen. So I still expect it to do fairly well out of the gate, but it's not very Apple-like launch for sure.
Yeah, and maybe at the same time, I guess there might be some sort of effect because a lot of these people who are probably facing the heat due to losing their jobs or not making enough money for this year, they might actually go for the lower price point, and then that's where iPhone SE fits in. So earlier they may be a prospect buyer for a higher range phone, let's say 600 or 500, and then now they might go with a cheaper option which already offers them the latest hardware and then great performance.
One last question, Hanish. Holding periods longer, the mature markets, premium kind of stalling. Apple's taken upon itself uh, to help sales by offering trade-ins and that. How do you think this will affect second generation SE sales?
Yeah, I think looking at the figures that the trade-in value that Apple is offering, I think it will be a great deal for all the existing iPhone 7, 6 users. To get the trade-in value and get an upgrade to the latest hardware, as I said, at a fraction of cost. So I think, a great value proposition for all those buyers, and yeah, it should definitely help, further give a boost to the sales.
I agree. Apple will also have these devices to put into the secondary market as a refurb, and the price points will be even lower. And maybe those devices can go into markets where they have virtually no existence today, and that could, yeah, benefit the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. And adding to that, I think this should also help Apple, phase out the existing, previous generation devices. They shall at least make the process quicker. So Apple will actually have a leaner SKU and, more streamlined supply chain going forward.
Great. Thanks, Hanish. And thanks everyone for listening. Counterpoint is present on multiple podcast services, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you for listening.